Let's get right into it. Number 10, you catch things without thinking. When someone tosses you their keys, your brain performs calculations that would make a NASA engineer sweat. In a fraction of a second, your visual cortex tracks the object's trajectory, estimates its speed, predicts where it'll be in the future, and sends precise commands to your arm and hand to intercept it. Robots with million-dollar processors still struggle with this. Engineers have spent decades trying to replicate what your brain does automatically when someone throws you a water bottle. The math involved includes differential equations, predictive modeling, and real-time motor adjustments. Your brain handles all of this while you're mid-conversation, not even fully paying attention. Most people catch things successfully about 80% of the time. That success rate with that level of complexity is genuinely remarkable. Number 9, you recognize faces instantly. Your brain has an entire region dedicated just to facial recognition, called the fusiform face area. This thing is so specialized it can identify someone you know in about 100 milliseconds. That's faster than you can consciously process what you're seeing. You can recognize your friend across a crowded room, in weird lighting, from a bad angle, even if they got a haircut. Facebook spent billions developing facial recognition software, and your brain still beats it in most real-world conditions. The truly wild part is you can recognize faces you haven't seen in decades. Your brain stored that information and kept it accessible for years, just in case you ran into your elementary school classmate at a grocery store. Try describing a face in words, and you'll realize how much information your brain processes that you can't even articulate. Number 8, you balance on 2 legs. Walking upright seems basic until you realize humans are basically trying to balance a heavy bowling ball on top of a wobbly stick. Engineers call bipedal locomotion one of the hardest problems in robotics. Boston Dynamics has spent over 30 years and hundreds of millions of dollars getting robots to walk somewhat reliably, and they still fall over sometimes. Meanwhile, you can walk while texting, eating, and carrying groceries without even thinking about it. Every single step requires your brain to make hundreds of micro adjustments. Your inner ear, your vision, sensors in your feet, and proprioceptors throughout your body all feed constant data to your cerebellum. A toddler learning to walk is solving physics problems that challenged engineers for decades. Number 7, you understand sarcasm. When someone says, "Oh, great, another meeting," your brain instantly knows they don't actually think it's great. This requires understanding tone, context, social dynamics, the speaker's likely emotional state, and cultural norms around expressing frustration. Artificial intelligence systems have been trying to crack sarcasm detection for years. It's considered one of the hardest problems in natural language processing. The issue is sarcasm often means the literal opposite of what's said, but not always. And the rules for when it does are incredibly fuzzy. Your brain handles this ambiguity effortlessly. You probably can't even explain how you know something is sarcastic. You just know. That intuitive understanding represents incredibly sophisticated social processing. Number 6, you predict what others will think. Psychologists call this theory of mind, and it's surprisingly rare in the animal kingdom. You can imagine what someone else knows, what they don't know, what they might be feeling, and how they'll react to new information. This lets you do things like tell a joke, because you can predict what will surprise someone, or keep a secret, because you understand that others don't automatically know what you know, or lie, because you can model someone's false beliefs. Children typically develop theory of mind around age 4, and it fundamentally changes how they interact with the world. Some researchers argue this ability is what allowed humans to build complex societies. You use it dozens of times per day without noticing. Number 5, you hear speech in noise. At a crowded restaurant, multiple conversations overlap. Music plays, dishes clatter. Somehow you can still understand what the person across from you is saying. This is called the cocktail party effect, and audio engineers have been trying to replicate it for decades. Your auditory system can separate one voice from background noise using subtle cues like pitch, timing, lip movements, and predictive context from the conversation. Modern noise-canceling systems are getting better, but they still can't match what your brain does automatically. Even more impressive, you can suddenly tune into a different conversation if you hear your name mentioned across the room. Your brain was processing that background noise the whole time, just not bringing it to conscious attention. Number 4, You estimate time without a clock. Your brain has internal clocks that track durations with surprising accuracy. Without looking at a watch, most people can estimate short intervals within about 10% accuracy. You know roughly when an hour has passed, when food should be done cooking, when you've been on hold too long. This internal timekeeping involves multiple brain systems working together, including the basal ganglia and the cerebellum. The mechanisms are so complex that neuroscientists still don't fully understand how they work. Your brain essentially counts without you asking it to, maintaining a background awareness of time's passage. This skill was crucial for our ancestors coordinating hunts, knowing when to return to shelter, and planning for seasonal changes. Number 3. You learn languages by listening. Every human child, barring specific disabilities, learns to speak their native language fluently without formal instruction. No one sits babies down with grammar textbooks. Kids just absorb the rules through exposure. By age 5, most children have mastered thousands of words and complex grammatical structures. They can form sentences they've never heard before, understand jokes, and express abstract ideas. Linguists have spent centuries trying to formally describe language rules, producing massive academic papers. Meanwhile, toddlers internalize these rules automatically, often producing grammatically correct sentences they couldn't possibly have memorized. Language acquisition remains one of the most studied and least understood phenomena in cognitive science. Number 2, you dream in stories. When you sleep, your brain generates entire narratives with characters, settings, plot twists, and emotional arcs. These stories feel real while you're in them, complete with sensory details and genuine emotional responses. Your brain is essentially writing, directing, and starring in movies every night. Researchers still don't fully understand why we dream or how the brain constructs these experiences. The visual cortex activates like you're actually seeing things. The emotional centers respond like events are really happening. Your brain creates coherent, though often bizarre worlds from scratch, populating them with people and events that don't exist. Some dreams are more creative than anything you could consciously imagine while awake. Number 1, you understand what you're seeing. This sounds simple until you realize that light hitting your retina is just a flat pattern of varying wavelengths. From this two-dimensional input, your brain constructs a three-dimensional world full of objects, spaces, and meaning. You instantly know that a chair is a chair, whether you see it from above, from the side, in dim light, or partially hidden behind a table. Computer vision systems require massive training data sets and still make mistakes that no human would make. They might think a sticker on a stop sign means it's a speed limit sign. Your visual processing handles infinite variations of objects, lighting conditions, and perspectives. You take for granted that the world looks like anything at all, but constructing that coherent visual experience from raw photons is extraordinarily complex. Every single one of these abilities took millions of years to evolve. They're so deeply embedded in how your brain works that they feel effortless. But effortless for you doesn't mean simple. The most impressive things about humans are often the things we do so automatically that we forget to be impressed. Which of these daily genius moments surprised you most? Let me know in the comments. I'll be making more videos like this, so subscribe if you want to see them.